fearless, you got fire. He's the spark that lifts you higher. You were made for joy, made for more. It's time to walk through heaven's door. The world is yours, take your place. Every dream aligned with grace. Overflow is your reward. Walk it out, abundance is yours. Oh, you can change it every time. Hope and faith, they realign. You're not stuck, not anymore. 'Cause girl, abundance is yours.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Divine Abundance. I am Julie Loughlin Hares, and I am so excited for all of you to connect with my friend Sierra Grana, who I had heard so much about for weeks from all my other friends, and I'm like, yeah, I just need to meet her.
Hopefully all good things. I mean,
It
if it
was
made you want to meet with
it
me.
was all really good actually. And I'm like, she sounds like my vibe. Like, I just want to meet her and just like see what's going on for her. And we had a magical Zoom call, gosh, about a week and a half ago now. And I was just so interested in what Sierra's working on that I said, gosh, I got to have you on the show. So here we are.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes, it's fun. So, Sierra, I know you are the founder of Social Agency and A Bridge That Matters. Can
Mhm.
you tell us a little bit about those two companies and what was the inspiration behind starting them?
Yeah, so starts in the shower in 2017, September 2017. So I just hit 8 years. I received this vision of this lifetime. I don't know what it was, but I just saw this vision of harmony, and I was told to build the business, and I said, "What am I building?" And then I got A Bridge That Matters, and I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back to work and do what I'm doing." Like, I ignored it completely.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, my back gave out on me and I could not work. And I made a deal with God in bed. And I said, all right, I'll start that business to show me the way. I couldn't walk or anything. Like, my back gave out on me so bad. And 4 days in bed, begging and pleading. And when I made that deal, God said, all right, get up and walk. And I did. And I started unraveling and figuring out what it was. I originally started in personal training, like coaching personal trainers and doing consulting. And it just evolved into this huge, completely different venue, and like, I don't even know, disarray. It was such a mess. And I was like, what am I doing? And then I got the nudge to separate myself from the business. So then I launched Sierra Grana Coaching, what was just myself. And that's when I started to really become public with my spiritual gifts. And then I want to say last year or 2 years ago, I got the nudge to get away from my name and went to Social Agency. So SOULCIAL, because everything I do is from the soul. I do guidance from the soul. Um, and then I have the sister business of A Bridge That Matters. So they go hand in hand. A lot of it is about education. So I teach a lot, focus in new paradigm business and showing people a different way of working and honoring what they're here to do, their divinity. And then A Bridge That Matters shifted into mentorship and guidance for future generations. So they go hand in hand. I still do both, but they're
That's really
separate but similar.
That's really cool, and I'm really glad I asked you that question because in our talk we just got off to the
Right.
races and I
Yeah.
didn't get that answer. And I'm like so glad I just asked you that.
Good.
That's so cool. I love that you are it's a paradigm shift, right?
Hmm.
Where you're working with people to bring out their natural gifts and abilities so
Hmm.
that they can live a life where they feel they're aligned with the work that they're doing, right?
Yeah, and a lot of it at the core, I naturally do human design, but at the core of like our trainings and everything, influence a little bit of or influx with the human design
Mhm.
to be able to really get the core of what you're here to do, why you're here, and how to do it with ease. Because I don't believe people need to struggle. There's so many resources out there and so much knowledge. It's like, why are we
Mhm.
still struggling? So.
That is amazing. I do use a few tools myself. I mean, I was gosh, in consulting before consulting was really a thing,
Yeah.
like in the 90s and 2000, early 2000s, and I worked for a global consulting firm. And one of the first instruments, if so to speak, or tools that I used was the disc, because
Yeah.
that really showed you how you show up at work, really. And that was a lot of the work that we were doing at the time. Since then, I've gotten really into human design as well as the Enneagram,
Yeah.
and just understanding kind of like how you can use these to leverage in your
Yeah.
business. And
Right.
as we're consulting, we actually use some of these tools to help our business owner clients, which is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, and the thing about human design, it shows how you operate or how to operate with ease, right? To bring you back to your divinity. And I do it for business too in my business consulting. So I take
Mhm.
the year that you started your business and we run its human design, and then we try to merge the two, merge your human design chart and your business's human design chart, and see how they can work in sync. Actually, it makes life so easy.
That is so cool. I love that. And do you use the human design app like on your phone?
I have one on my phone, but I'll just use like Jovian chart or get the free, because I can,
Mhm.
once I see it, I already can naturally tell like what type you are. It's just I go for like the incarnation cross, and then I'll look it up and say, okay, these are the lessons you're here to learn, and this is what you're here to show us and teach us. So
It's so cool. I had mine for a while and now I can't find it. I was gonna share it with you, but I can't find mine. What is your human design?
I'm a generator, which is not, that's why I talk a lot. No, I'm just kidding. But my incarnation cross is vessel of love too. So my lessons are to love life, love self, love spirit, and love humanity. I've gotten 3 out of the 4. The humanity part has been kind of hard, but
Mhm.
I'll get there someday, I say.
You will. You're work. We're all work in progress, right?
Yeah,
I love
right.
that.
Yeah.
What are some things that you've been like incredibly proud of this past like couple of years in your business or in your personal side that you'd like to share with anybody that's watching us today? Like something that you are just really proud of. It kind of like rings on a soul level for you.
Mm. So about 3 years ago, I went through a miscarriage.
Sorry, Sarah.
Thank you. And I didn't allow myself to collapse. I mean, I
Mhm.
did in a way where I was able to like rebirth and use it to help other people. It really
Mhm.
shifted my whole bit. It gave me an awakening. I already had an awakening before it, but after it was like this other awakening of like there's so much more to life, and
Yeah.
my purpose. Like I really started to find my purpose.
Mhm.
And then I got pregnant with our rainbow baby, and like to be able to continue to have a sustainable business while healing from a miscarriage, having a rainbow baby, raising a newborn with 2 older kids,
Mhm.
and then we moved out of state, we're going through a divorce. It's like all of these things, my life is chaotic, right? My personal life is chaotic, but my business has been able to still stand. And
Mhm.
that to me, it's given me an outlet to pour into. And I think when you have these tough moments, to find something to hold on to, right?
Mhm.
To like anchor yourself in. And for me, it was service is what pulled me out of the dark, of the depths. I went right into, like, right after my miscarriage, I went into creating a program. I served 14 women through it. I built a program I ran for 2.5 years. It just, serving others helped me heal so much, and turn into, I allowed myself to peel back those layers, and become someone different, right? So those tower moments are really meant to put you in alignment to where you're meant to be.
Oh my gosh, you were so right with that. Like I can say that some of the darkest times of my life is when I got out of myself and out of my own misery and I thought, how can I serve and help
Mm.
others? Really was very cathartic for me, very healing. And I'm glad you brought up this experience that you went through because I want to connect you to another interviewee that I had earlier today. Sarah Elizabeth Pilato has also gone through a miscarriage like
Mm.
you have, and like I have, and like thousands and hundreds of thousands of other women will go through.
Yeah,
And one thing that she was inspired to do, Sarah, is to write a book. And this
yeah.
book is going to be free in OBGYN clinics and offices across the country. And her goal is to go global with this.
Mm.
Because one thing she found is, that awkward time where they may come in, the doctor comes in and says we don't hear a heartbeat, and it's like
Mhm.
devastating. You're just crushed.
Yeah.
I know how I felt. Like I felt like I was the lowest of the low. My situation
Mm,
was a little bit different in that I didn't have any children yet. And
yeah.
I really started to question, will I ever have children? You know, in
Mm,
that moment, as you go through that. And she said, as she was sitting there, kind of waiting for the doctors to come back in and talk to her about her, you know, her next best step, there was no reading material. There was nothing she could just reach out for to just anchor and ground her
mm,
in that moment. And she
right.
said, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to create this for other women so they don't feel alone. And I was
Mm,
like, oh, I
I
love
love that.
this.
It
Right.
just gave me
So
chills everywhere.
I know I definitely feel like I meant to connect you guys. So I'll
Yep.
definitely note to self, I'll do that post show. But I love her initiative and I love the
Mm,
work that she's doing. I love that you were able to be of value and of service to 14 other women
yeah.
as you navigated that yourself. And I think that just speaks volumes to your character. So
Thank
thank
you.
you for sharing that. What is something that you're doing between now and maybe the end of the year that you're really excited about, either in your business or your personal side, that you're like, hey, this is what I'm currently working on and I'm very excited about it and want to share it with others?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing like a million things, but
Yeah.
I have two things that I'm working on right now. Something called Social AF, so
Mhm.
SOULCIALAF. Everyone thinks it's as, can I swear on this? uh,
Yeah.
I won't, but you know, as F, but it's aligned and free. So it's a community
Mhm.
centered around sacred reciprocity, and it's for community leaders, people who are leading big communities, small communities, or want to lead a community. We are the community for them. We are there to support them and help them. Because my biggest thing, I do leadership strategy. So I work with leaders and I show them how to nurture their community, grow their community while also being able to hold themselves. So we're building that, and simultaneously, because my two businesses are sister businesses and they work together, we are co-creating a core activation, which is a new paradigm leadership training. So we're going to be running our leaders in social AF through this training, so they learn. So they everything goes hand in hand. They all work together. So we're almost done to getting ready to launch both of those, where we're gonna launch that activation leadership training and our community for people.
Awesome. This is very exciting stuff. I
It
can't wait to
is.
hear about more about it. So that's great. What is something this past year that you've really learned, like on a deep level? You're like, this is something, Julie, that, you know, I had this experience, kind of walked away from it, and this is, you know, what I feel I was meant to learn this year.
So I'll go back to March. We were driving from South Carolina to Texas to move here, and we were in Louisiana, and I was pulling our RV behind us. My best friend was in my car with my son in front of me, and my ex was in the moving truck behind us. So I had my two daughters and two dogs with me, and we were going down a hill and going over to go over a bridge, and this 18-wheeler comes flying by. And if you've ever driven with a trailer, it
Mhm.
started fishtailing. And this was my first time driving the RV and pulling it. Um, and I lost control. The steering wheel just started shaking like crazy. And we were going off the edge. And I just screamed out and prayed, this is not how we die. And I just turned the wheel to the right. And it was as if our truck was just lifted and placed
Mhm.
down in between both sides of the bridge. So like on either side, we would have gone off and died off the bridge. Um, no cars around us. Not one car hit us, nothing. We got out and walked away, all of us, with not a scratch. And it was in that moment that I realized that God really does exist and that
Mhm.
angels are there. Like we literally we should have been dead. Everyone that talked to us after, the tow truck driver, the cops, they said, there was no way you should have been able to handle that truck. And I said, I didn't. I was like, I didn't. I go, we were lifted, and the RV went on its side and slid into the back of the SUV where my son would have been. So all of the divine moments that happened in order for us to just walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost a lot of material stuff.
Hmm.
We lost our truck, we lost the RV, we lost everything that we loaded in it. Um, but we walked away, and that I'm just that really proved. I don't. I've always believed in God, but that moment I was just like,
No, that's
we're
that's
divinely protected.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
God.
It was
Yeah,
like
for
proof.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I can recall my son was very young and I was a newly single mom.
Mhm.
And I used to travel all over New York State for my job at the time. I was way up on 81 north, like north of Saratoga in New York State. and it's the Adirondack area is where I was coming out of. And there's trucks, I mean, big trucks. I'm on as a major thoroughfare. And I had two state troopers behind me because they were headed from up north down to Albany because there's a major hub of state police there. I was going 75 miles an hour and my tire blew. And there was a tractor trailer right here, one behind me and one in front of me in the lane. And I don't know how I did it. Didn't do it. God did it.
Yeah.
Got me to the side of the road and got me to a stop somehow with a blown tire at almost 80 miles an hour. And it was a nice, bigger SUV, but the two state troopers pulled over immediately to help me. And they were like, we both thought you were gonna be dead. Like, we
Yeah.
thought it was done, and we've never seen that happen ever. And
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't me, it was God. And they were like,
Yep.
sure was, because
Yep.
we've never seen somebody be able to stop like that.
Right.
And it was just like, I was definitely divinely guided. And then the tow truck driver that showed up and they stayed with me without like an air gun. And he was trying to hand crank my spare on, and the cop
Yeah.
was like, nope, you need to go. And they called me a different tow truck.
That's
Somebody
funny.
who like was
Could do it.
more
Yeah.
professional and had like an air gun and could make sure that, because I had to drive another, I don't even know, 5 hours home. And they were like, no,
Yeah.
you can't be driving on your tire like that. So
Yeah.
the whole episode, I knew that God was with me for sure.
Yeah.
Sarah, just like you did and your family did.
Yeah.
And you must have been just grateful as you walked away from that.
I really was. And it was just like, I still have a little PTSD, and I know my oldest does too, of
Mhm.
like, because when we should have died, we should have been off the ramp. Like we were
Yeah.
going towards the ramp, and then it was just like we just lifted. And there's moments where I had to stop saying we should have died, and it was like, no, we were saved, right? So
Mhm.
it's just accepting it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's pretty wild. That's
yeah.
pretty profound. As you think about like your life in totality and just like things that you've learned along the way, sounds like you've had a lot of really cool life experience.
Mm,
What's something that you've learned that you wish you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self? And I'll give you an example.
mhm,
When I was 18, I felt like really alone. I
mm,
can't explain why. I think it was the first time I left my parents' house and I was going to college, and
mm,
I felt very overwhelmed by that. I'd never been away from my family. I was kind of like a homebody type child, and I just felt like alone in a lot of moments. But if I were to go back and talk to that version, that younger version of me,
mm,
I would tell me that you're never alone and God is always with you. And you can always have that conversation. And that's like an open conversation that you can just have a running conversation with. And
mm.
I guess I didn't really realize that when I was that age, but I have a full understanding of that now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wish you could go back and tell your younger self?
Uh, I would probably tell her that she's right about everything, and to
Yeah.
trust it, and to really listen to herself, and that it's okay to choose herself. I think that was the biggest thing, is I never chose myself back then, So being able to I was always an intuitive person, and I always had this knowing, but I was always told I was wrong, or that, I had to do this for XYZ or whatever. I probably would have left college and started my business way back then, because I knew back then college was a waste of time for me.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I would tell her so much, but then I look back and I'm like, every choice that I made back then led me to where I am today. And I don't want to change that because I love who I
Yeah.
am. But yeah, I would just let her know that she's right. Like, just stick with it. You're right.
Mhm.
Follow your instincts a little bit more than you did. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you question your gifts at the time when you were younger?
So no, because my gifts were always there since I was like 3
Mhm.
years old. So, and it was very accepted within my family. My mom's a medium. Um, it just wasn't public. So for me, I didn't I feel like now I try to explain myself more. Back then I didn't. I just said, no, I know, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I didn't look into it too deeply. And I feel like the older I got, the more I try to make it make sense. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean, I was aware of them, and I just thought it was normal. Like I thought everybody could do that.
Yeah. And as you talk to people and you realize that not everybody could do that, make you feel like, why can I do that? Like, did you start to think that?
No, I thought more of like, everybody can do it. Why are they not doing it? Right. And that's what led me into the business that I run today, is teaching people, right? Because we all can do it. We just have
Yes.
to accept the ability, right?
Mhm.
Accept that our gifts are all going to be different and used in different ways and appear in different ways. And we don't have to do stuff with them. Like, that's why I literally just told a client right
Right.
before this. I was like, you don't have to do anything with your gifts. They're just a
No.
part of you,
Yeah.
right? So it's just, it's like, I would look around and be like, can't you all see this? Like, are you feeling this vibe? Like, I would question in that way. And I'd be like, hello, wake up. Like, that was my biggest thing.
It's so funny because like people will like I'll meet people and everyone around this person like loves this person and I'll meet the person, I'll be like, nah, that
Yeah.
ain't. And they're like, they'll wait to see my reaction. And I try not to give one. I try to stay neutral because I don't want to like, sometimes it's not for me to tell. Like
Right.
sometimes it's for people to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I can't cut people off from their learning, but a lot of people will come to me and be like, hey,
You're right.
what is your discernment on this? And I do get asked privately a lot
Yeah.
about situations that come up, interpersonal relationships, like different things, like what's your take on this? And I can see things so clearly
Yeah, you can.
that it's like, okay, well, did you guys not see this and you didn't see that? And they're like, no, never picked up on it. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I won't confirm your gifts because then everybody's going to be asking you. No, I'm just kidding. You have to start charging for that.
Yeah, no, I know it's funny. Um, well, the first time that you had the awareness that you had these gifts, you were 3, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And was it like was it a download of a knowing? Was it a vision or was it hearing? Like how does it come to you?
When I was 3, it was shadows. I could see shadows.
Mhm.
Like I used to say my clothes are flying in my room, like coming out of my
Mhm.
closet and climbing. It was not my clothes, it was shadows. And
Yeah,
I was scared. I was really afraid. But my mom used to say, it's funny because I used to make up this language. But my mom's Portuguese, my parents are Portuguese. My mom spoke Portuguese fluently. And she thought I was just trying to speak Portuguese, but I was speaking this language. And as I
yeah.
got older, I started to learn that it was Sumerian, light language and light codes. Because I would be like, no, like, because I can translate it now. If I listen to it, I can translate it into English. But yeah, it just evolved. It started in dreams, the older I got, and then now it's just constant. If I could turn it on and off if I want.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Yeah,
amazing. It
that's
is
fun.
amazing. And how cool it is to like just be comfortable enough in yourself to be like, I have these gifts and I'm not afraid to say it. And I know that it's connection to divinity and here
Yeah.
I am. So good,
It
good for
took it
you.
took a while, but I got there.
Yeah, it does. It does take a while because we're always afraid. I think on some level, even though we may say we're not, we're afraid of judgment, right?
Hmm.
I mean, we are afraid of judgment and we're afraid that people look at us differently or, see us as evil or not good or something. And
Yeah.
it's so not true. Like it was always okay in my family too, because we're indigenous, like half my
Yeah.
family's indigenous and the other half comes from straight from Ireland. So like definitely have cultural
Yeah.
things on both sides that they believe in. And I was taught some really cool things by my aunts and my grandmothers about how to like let go of things that are holding you back.
Yeah.
And I feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it at the time, but what a gift that was to me as a young person, as a young child.
Mm.
And now it's something that I teach adults that maybe
Yeah.
never learned that when they were younger, that
Right.
you don't have to be stuck in these self-limiting beliefs or these paradigms. Like you can actually create the life that you want and you can start at any age. It
Right.
doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, 80. I don't care. You
Yeah.
have the control to change your life at any time.
Hmm.
So I love that, Sarah. This has
Oh,
been so fun. I'm sorry, our
amazing.
time flew. Like
I
this was
know.
a blast. But I love that we're going to be able to, in the show notes and a show description, we're going to be able to put where people can connect with you, where they can find you, anything that you have going on about upcoming events you want to share with us. Definitely make sure you list it there. And we'll
Okay.
be sure to put it in the show notes for you. And it's been our honor to have you on Divine Abundance today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You got purpose, you got fire. He's the spark that lifts you higher. You were made for joy, made for more. It's time to walk through hell. with grace. Overflow is your reward. Walk it out, abundance is yours. Oh, you can change it every time. Hope and faith, they realign. You're not stuck, not anymore. 'Cause girl, abundance is yours. This is your Prospera era, where dreams align with grace. Abundance flows like rivers. You've stepped into your place. Rise, reign, and remember, you were born to shine. Welcome to your moment, Prospera, it's time.
We hope you enjoyed today's show on Prospera TV Network. Make it a point to visit us on YouTube and catch all your favorite shows anytime you want. Interested in hosting a show of your own? Or advertising your business on our network? Contact Elena Rodriguez.